So I'm on my way to a job. Just wanted to record that real quick. Pretty cool. Had some fresh snow last night. Welcome to Valley Mobile Automotive. We're working on a 2005 Dodge Ram 3500. We're going to be replacing the fuel pump in tank on this model. So let's get started. So the ticket to any in-tank fuel pump replacement is making sure that the tank is as empty as possible. So on this, we could disconnect this hose here, put a siphoning hose in it, and drain out as much fuel as possible. So I just have a multi-use transfer pump going into that filler neck and then into an empty, and we'll just pump out as much as we can. We got a total of 1, 2, half, and 3. So 3.5 5-gallon gas cans. So hopefully that'll be enough. If your gas can is lower than the tank, then once you pump it a few times, it'll just continue siphoning. So you can keep pumping it if you want, or just let it gravity do its work. The clouds are looking pretty crazy. Hopefully the weather holds up. Blocking my sun. It's cold. So gravity's taking too long. I'm gonna pump on this thing and expedite it. There's one. That's 2. Almost a half. So 2.5 makes about 12 gallons that we emptied. You can imagine how much weight we just reduced this tank by. Let's crawl under, get to work. Yeah, listen to that. Nice and empty. Way we like it. So, filming under here is not going to be the best. One day we'll get a wide angle camera to view more. So we got 2 straps. They're a 15mm long extension, deep socket. We're just going to impact them off. I'm not going to disconnect any electrical connectors or fuel lines yet until the tank is just a little lower. We can get our hands up and in there. I'm not going to take this all the way off yet. Just loosen them up most of the way. There we go. So you guys can't see nothing. All right, I'm going to do the same to the back and just keep them in there. Then we'll get our jack under here to hold it while we take these out for rails. So this is the back one. Same as the front one. This is actually easier to get to. They're both easy to get to, but this is the back. Same as the front. We'll zip it down to about right here so it still has some threads holding the tank up. So we got a floor jack in the middle just for raising and lowering. We got jack stands on either end just in case it wants to tilt one way or another. That's just to catch it. Pro lift. That just means the cheap ones from Amazon. So now I'm going to take off the straps and start lowering the tank. I'm going to try to set you up in a way that you can see what's happening. But if I don't, I love you guys anyway. How's that? Let's do this. There's one. So to get the one closest to the engine, the one up front, the side by the frame comes off first, then the side with the nut on it comes off second. And you just kind of wiggle it out. All right, we're ready. I'm gonna go around and lower it. I'm gonna see if I can manhandle it. Yeah, not too bad. If I can't feel anything, I'm gonna go up with the camera, get a shot. What am I looking at? Where are the connectors? Okay. So that's what we need to disconnect, the lines and the connector. Just for orientation, this is the tank, this is the rail, this is the side where the filling neck is. I'm having a real hard time getting that connector off, But if you, let me try to focus, there is this little connector piece that goes into the frame. If you pop that off, it allows this harness to move a lot more. And then right here, point it out right there, I'll try to focus again. There, point it out. So right here, if you pop those fuel lines off of here, that also gives the fuel lines more ability to move around. And then you can lower, let me show you, lower the tank even more to get your hand up and in there, because it's just really hard trying to reach like on this side of the frame and get up and in there, and there's just not much room. So because I don't have the vehicle jacked up or anything, I was actually able to lower the tank all the way to the ground without putting stress on the electrical connector or the fuel lines. So that gives me plenty of room now to disconnect stuff. So that might be the ticket for you if you're just doing it on the ground like I am. So these kind of pliers work really good getting those clips pushed in, and you wiggle it and it'll pop off. These quick connect clips, they just need to be pushed in for the line to slide over it. There may be a little fuel drippage when you pop the line off, just keep that in mind, like that. So just a little rag or whatever. But get the other one off and this tank is free. All right, there she is. This is the aftermarket pump that was put in some time ago. Precision. Was not very precise. Fuel gauge was off, and it left about 10 gallons of fuel still in the tank. It just wasn't sucking it off the bottom. So not sure if this is just a bad pump or wrong part number. Not sure there, but the customer got themselves a genuine Mopar Dodge Jeep Chrysler part. This is the part number, but it's interesting. These years are kind of confusing, so just double check with your dealer, give them your VIN number, and they'll make sure that this is kosher for yours. But this is what we got for ours, so let's pull this out, compare the two. Just curious to see why this one sucks. Takes a tool like this, and then it just grabs onto the little nubbins, and then you just spin it off, screws off like a bottle cap or a jar lid. Starting to sprinkle a little. It started raining on me, so I went ahead and put the box on the tank. I don't want any water inside the fuel tank. We're gonna go ahead and slap the pump in real quick just to get it on. Once the pump's in and the lid is on and everything, then we're okay. The tank can get as wet as it wants on the outside. It's optional, it's up to you. I like to put a little silicone paste on the O-ring. So I'll put, let me grab some right there, just some silicone paste. Not a lot, just enough, lubricated. It keeps this rubber nice for a long time. And then we'll put that in. When you put it in, just be careful of this. You don't want to bend it. That's our float. And that's it. And just tighten it down. And then we just put the tank back under and plug it all in. Crazy little rain squall. All right, for me, I had to hold on to the pump while turning this lid. Otherwise, the whole pump wanted to spin inside. You gotta be careful of that because of the float that's in there. You don't want it to hit against the side and then bend. But we are solid, so we can go ahead, slide this back under, lift it up. While it was out, I did take a couple more gallons out of the bottom, so hopefully it's lighter. Well, it is lighter, but hopefully it's light enough I can muscle it a lot easier. Get these muscles working. We're going to reuse these quick connect fittings, so pop them off the nipple here, and I find it easier to plug them into the hose first, then the hose over the nipple versus putting it on the other nipple and trying to get the hose to fit in. Sometimes it doesn't fit in all the way and fuel pressure will blow that hose back off. So put the fitting in the hose first, then you'll hear it snap over the nipple. So this is what I mean. Put them in here first, you'll hear them click. They'll lock into place on here first, then snap them into the nipple on the pump. Do that with this one too. There, so they're locked in here first, and then we'll put them on the nipple and you'll hear them click. So if I'm able to muscle it up onto there like that, now I can get the jack under it and start lifting it. So just listen as I push in the fuel line. Hear that click. So now I know it's good and solid, and you can tug back on it just to make sure that it's locked in place. So that's it. I wiped the tank off really good so we can see if there's any fuel leaks once we fire it up. We'll put our lines back in their little holder here, same with the electrical connector. Put that back in on the frame. Continue lifting this thing up and putting our straps on. Once your straps are tightened down, don't forget this, be your last thing. Make sure nothing wiring is kinked or anything like that. And we are done, ready to get out from underneath this vehicle. We'll start it up, cycle the key a few times first, make sure we have no fuel leaks, then start it up. There may be air in the line that needs to be bled out. Well, there you go. That's how you can replace a fuel pump on one of these older Dodges. I think I said this was an 05 at the beginning. I believe it's actually an 04. Either way, it's the fuel pump in the tank. The weather has been pretty interesting. We now have full sun. It looks pretty blue sky. See if you can see it behind me. The sun's in the way, but we had some rain. It was cold this morning. You saw snow on the mountains. So pretty interesting, but that's the life of a mobile mechanic. All right, thanks for watching. Oh, before I forget, before you turn anything on, fill the tank back up with fuel. You don't want to turn anything on with an empty tank. You'll end up burning up your new pump. That'll make everybody really sad. So fill it up first, then run through the bleeding cycle and all that stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you on the next one.